It is time to expand minds through movies, TV, sports, and flicks. It is time to boldly go where no podcast has gone before. It is time for the Captain Talks Flicks.
The Captain Talk Flicks.
Welcome to the Captain Talks Flicks podcast. I'm your host, the Captain Cortez, aka Mr. Love, and this is where we talk flicks. I welcome the podcast where me, the Captain, talks about movies, TV, sports, flicks, anything you can see on the tube or screen. I like to get in here and give my unique perspective because after 46 years of being on planet Earth, I've developed a unique perspective about these movies, TV, sports, and flicks, and like to get in here and tell you about it. Because just maybe you care. And according to the stats, looks like you do care. I want to give a big shout out to the Netherlands. Got some plays over the Netherlands this past week. Gracias, gratitude, todo reba. And Netherlands, I heard you guys got some lovely, lovely tulips. And one of these days when I want to wine and dine a lady, I'm going to have to fly her over to the Netherlands, me and her, and check out those tulips. And she's like, oh, those are some lovely tulips. And maybe I'll get lucky. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I would. I don't even know. Maybe. So, and one of these days I'm going to have to do that. So thanks for listening. Appreciate it. Gracias. And just FYI, back in the day I went to school to be a radio DJ, but I never got a job. I think I didn't have enough willpower. If I just would have had more willpower, that would have enabled me to become a radio DJ. But I didn't. And it allowed me to become the greatest podcaster in the Matrix. Something to debate. Might be true, might not be true. But I said it on the internet. So it's got to be true, right? Because everything on the internet is facts, not facts, true, false, propaganda, fake news, the Matrix, snow, grass, dirt, sun, moon, stars, rain, New Year's Eve. I don't know. I didn't make the internet. Ask the people that made the internet. So when you're online, just be aware, just watch out. Anyways, I could ramble here all day, but I won't. Let's get right into the podcast. But first, a word from our sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes I rap. And on Christmas 2022, I rapped again. I dropped a new album called The Dharma by yours truly, the Captain Che Cortez. This album features yours truly rapping in my unique style, only the way I can do it, with synthy, electronic, cosmic, spacey beats. I guarantee when you hear this album, you've never heard anything like it in your life. So if you want to experience something new sonically, if you boldly want to go where you never went before musically, check out my album, The Dharma. I'll put the link below to my Bandcamp page. Now, let's get on the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back again. And guess what? The year is almost over. We're close. This year is almost a wrap. It feels like I just stepped into 22 and now it's already over. Like, bro, where did all the time go? It just vanished. And guess what? It's gone. We are not getting it back. So I hope you maximize and use the clock to your advantage and squeeze every little drop out of time you could. Because it's gone. 22 will never come again. It's out of here. So ladies and gentlemen, the year's almost over. And we're about to go into 23. So what I want to do this episode is do what I always do at the end of the year. And I'm going to talk about the best of the year. And when I say the best of the year, I'm talking the best thing that was on a screen. Doesn't matter if it was a TV screen, computer screen, phone screen, iPhone screen, any kind of screen. If it was on a screen, it is a candidate for the best of the year. And ladies and gentlemen, this year, I watched so much dope stuff on tubes and screens. And it was very hard to narrow it down to what was the best of the year. I gave it a lot of thoughts, like what was the best on the tube and screen? And after giving it much thought, I came to the conclusion that the best of the year is, wait for it. What is it? What's the best of the year, Captain? Captain, tell us. We can't wait. There's too much anticipation. What is the best of the year, Captain? The best of the year, to me, the Captain, was mind-expanding media. Now, when I say mind-expanding media, I'm talking about media that's going to enhance your mind, your brain, and your life. Now, if you've been listening to this podcast before, You know, this podcast is dedicated to expanding minds, to become just a little bit better than yesterday, a little bit more improved, a little faster, a little stronger, a little smarter, a little better. The goal of that is we explore interesting ideas, interesting concepts, and we look at them, we examine them, we think about them, through the vehicle of TV, movies, sports, and flicks. We look at these different ideas and possibilities of existence and examine them, look at them with 360-degree panoramic vision, give much thought, deliberation, think about ideas for hours. Just sit around and take time to think. I'm doing that. I hope you are as well. So as you navigate life, we use the TV to do that. And so I thought the best thing on the tube was stuff that was going to help your mind expand just a little bit more. So let me tell you specifically what I was watching to grow the mind. Now, before I get into this mind expanding videos, let me just say something real quick. I now come to believe that if you want to shift your reality and shift your mind, it all starts with shifting your thoughts, shifting your mindset. Because if you can shift and change your mindset, your thoughts, then you might take some different actions. And if you take some different actions, you might get some different results. Someone said, I don't remember who said this, but they're saying you have to think like you've never thought. You have to do what you've never done. You have to act like you've never acted. You have to go where you never went, right? If you want to expand and grow and change your life, right? This year, I did a lot of that. This year, I did a lot of going where I never went, thinking how I never thought, acting how I never acted, and my life did shift. Many examples of that happened this year. A lot of the motivation for that came through these mind-expanding media that I've been watching. So one of the things I watched all year, I was watching it regularly all year, is I was watching the Tom Bilyeu YouTube channel, right? He's got a variety of programming on his YouTube channel that basically is all about leveling up your mind. If you want to think about ideas and think differently about things you never thought before, this is a good way to do that. This dude is talking about all types of interesting ways of thought and motivation and thinking and working. And also he has a lot of guests out there from different walks of life, health, money, mindset, business, a bunch of different people on there who think differently, right? So you're just getting access to a variety of minds, and all the minds he has on the show are all very successful minds. In your real life, you may not have access to these kind of people, but through Tom Bilyeu's YouTube channel, you just get to pick the brain of some very successful people, see how they think, and maybe you can take some of those ideas and lessons and apply them to your life, right? So as I watched Tom Bilyeu all year, I just consumed and took what I could use and added to my life and apply. And let me say this, a lot of results. Let's be real, a lot of results from watching that. Straight up, it is one of my favorite things on YouTube. I mean, just the amount of thinking differently and mind expansion has occurred through it is just magnificent. Smart dude he is. So that was one of the things I watched quite a bit on the tube this year. Now, also, another bit of mind expanding media that I watched quite regularly was on YouTube as well. Also on YouTube, right? And this one is more geared towards business, more like a business mindset, right? And that is valuetainment. I watched valuetainment all year, right? It's more about business and just professional, right? So if you're trying to grow your career or your wealth or your business and even mindset, this is a good channel for that. He's so motivational. He's very knowledgeable. He's been in the insurance game for a long time. He wrote a magnificent book. His videos are always getting to see things a little bit different than I might see them, different perspective, different ideas, different ways of doing things, just like Bilyeu. I would say Bilyeu's kind of more motivational, and where valuetainment's more focused on business. So these things I watched valuetainment all year, I watched Tom Bilyeu all year, and these things I feel helped expand my mind just a little bit better. I think when I walked into 22, I was at a certain level mentally. And I think walking out 23, these YouTube channels helped just expand it a bit. I would say it's probably true. I think I know a little bit more now than I did in January. Every day that passes, I'm trying to know just a little bit more, a little smarter, a little stronger, a little wiser, a little more strength, a little more resilience, a little more durable, just a little bit. I feel these channels are helping me achieve that. So yeah, these were some fine things on YouTube, but I'm not done. And there's one more thing I want to talk about that I felt was the best of the year that just helped expand my mind a little more. I use this app. It's an app, actually. And I talked about it on the podcast already, but I'm going to talk about it again because I've used this app every day all year. And I can say for sure, when I walked into 22 and now I'm walking out of 23, I have definitely learned some things through this app. There's no question. And I always wondered, can an older dude learn new things well or not? Is it possible? He's old, he can't learn, he can't teach an old dog new tricks, no way. So I tested that theory this year. In 2022, I tested this theory, I used this app, and the app is called Duolingo, right? The app is called Duolingo. I was using Duolingo all year. I walked in 22 with a certain knowledge of languages, right? And at the end of 22, it just improved my knowledge, man. Like, seriously, I can look at words and I know more words now that aren't English. It's absolute craziness. It's so crazy how it works. You just do this regularly and all of a sudden you know words that aren't English just by practicing. It's amazing. It's amazing. And another thing too, they always say, well, you're older, you can't learn languages. You're too old, bro. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Tell you something. I know way more words than when I first started in 22. That is facts. I'm positive that is real. And that's just by using this app and doing work. And so like I talk about this podcast is all about expanding minds. And I feel that Duolingo has helped expand my mind. So if you want some mind expansion next year in 23, I highly recommend you check this stuff out. The reason I chose the mind expanding media as the best of the year, because as a 46-year-old dude, I'm starting to move into those upper echelons of age, bro. And I gotta keep this mind sharp. I know a lot of young people out there, listen to this. Bro, your mind is sharp, bro, because you're young. I'm older, I'm trying to keep up with you guys, bro. I know you got sharp minds. I gotta keep up. I gotta keep sharpening my sword, bro, if I want to keep up with you guys, man, because you guys are moving fast. You think fast, you move fast, you learn fast. I know that. I gotta keep up, bro. I gotta do this work. So yeah, this year, the best thing on the tube is Mindset Media. Now let me say this, there was a lot of good TV. There was a lot of good Star Trek, first of all. A lot of good spy stuff. Many good TV shows I saw this year. A lot to choose from. I cried a lot. I laughed a lot. I had fun watching the screen. There's a bunch of great movies and TV shows I watched all year. Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff, but man, I had to go with Mind Expansion because I feel it was so beneficial this year. Seeming that the theme of the podcast is like leveling up, expanding the mind, right? So I just had to go there. So anyways, it's 2022. We move into 23. The year is almost over. So when you walk into 23 next year, are you gonna level up your mind? Are you gonna take it there? I just told you the best of 22. I told you some ways you can get there. Are you trying to do that? We should. I think we should, bro. You want to be in the top 10% of human beings on planet Earth? Let's expand the mind, bro. Let's get it. So I want to thank all you guys for joining me in 2022. For me, it had its ups, it had its downs. I was triggered, I was emotional, I cried, I was hurt, I was sore, I was angry, felt all the emotions. My body was achy sometimes. Sometimes I got no sleep. Sometimes I worked from sun up to sundown. I didn't get a chance to rest. Sometimes I had no leisure time. It was tons of work. It was tons of emotion. It was crying. It was all types of stuff happening. It was just living the human experience this year. This year, I just felt the human experience so much, and I have an appreciation and gratitude for all the simple things in life. If you got food, you got clothing, you got shelter, you got a bed to sleep in, you got lights, you got heat, you are blessed, my friend. Now, obviously, maybe you want a mansion, maybe you want a Lamborghini, and maybe you want all these things and, a bunch of jewelry or a bunch of expensive this, expensive that. Yeah, it's fine. Shoot for that, man. But if you got the basics, food, clothing, shelter, heat, lights, right? You're healthy. You are blessed, right? So take those blessings, move into 23, and let's level up even more. Let's work towards those Lamborghinis. Let's work towards those mansions. Let's work for whatever your dream is, whatever you're trying to achieve. Let's get there. And I feel we're going to get there by expanding the mind. And this podcast is all about mind expansion. So if you want to continue the journey of mind expansion, let's go. Because there'll be many movies, many TV shows, many sporting events, many YouTube videos, many apps that we're going to talk about. And we're going to look deep at ideas, thoughts, examine them. Some of the theories will be weird. Some will be crazy. Sometimes you'll be like, Captain, you're a crazy man, bro. You're just talking crazy. Sometimes it'll be like that. Sometimes they won't. Sometimes I'll be low energy because I work so hard. So, it's going to be we'll be all over the place. It's the beauty of life, and that's what this podcast is about. So thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. And until next time, I'll see you next year. Scar tissue is stronger than other tissue. Realize the strength. Move on. Henry Rollins. Until next time, it's Captain Peace.
The Captain Talks Flicks.